Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jake Silver Show. As President Trump attempts to protect his fellow pedophiles in power, the cover-up for the unsealed Epstein documents continues. For about the past week or so, there has been nonstop damage control by the Trump administration. They've even gone as far as hiring the Nelk boys to interview Netanyahu. I mean, they are all out attempting to sweep this thing under the rug, move on from it, but great job. First time I've said this maybe in my life. I know it's been years, but great job by the media for hounding Trump on the Epstein documents at every chance they get. Granted, we had to resort to the liberal news outlet to press him on this, but the conservative media outlets all paid off by the current administration and its donors. It's the same with every administration, so don't be upset. Over the past couple of days, the Department of Justice has decided to take a visit to Ghislaine Maxwell and give her a little talk, give her a little pep talk before they pardon her. I believe they will. And they want to make sure this thing is sealed tightly, that it's not going anywhere, that they've got all the loose ends ratcheted down, and that Trump clears his name entirely once they do come up with some sort of list for the Epstein file visitors. Epstein accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell hopes for Trump pardon after DOJ meeting. Experts suggest President could commute Maxwell's 20-year sentence if she proves to be highly cooperative witness. U.S. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche has concluded his interview with Ghislaine Maxwell after a second day of talks about her involvement in Jeffrey Epstein's years of sex crimes. Ghislaine answered every single question asked of her over the last day and a half, Maxwell's attorney David Oscar Marcus told reporters outside the federal courthouse in Tallahassee on Friday. She answered those questions honestly, truthfully, and to the best of her ability. She never invoked a privilege. She never refused to answer a question. Discussing next steps, Marcus said no offers have been made to Maxwell, but he weighed in on the possibility of President Donald Trump pardoning his client. It's coming. I mean, she almost has complete immunity in these conversations. A pardon is coming from Trump. He has to pardon her. There's no other way out of this. He is blazing a trail in the woods of pedophilia, and he's sticking to his guns. I'll give him that. No matter how many times or what kind of detail this list describes of Trump being involved with Jeffrey Epstein or visiting the island or whether or not he had sex with underage girls, doesn't matter to him. He will scrub his name entirely from this list. They will get Ghislaine Maxwell to sign paperwork stating that she will deny. And whatever eventually comes out from her, hundreds of people, it's not going to include Donald Trump. She'll just say he was an accomplice. He was an associate of Jeffrey Epstein, which is true. But they are going to get it signed, sealed, delivered that she does not mention the president's name in any incriminating way that makes him associated or even involved with any of the pedophilia activities going on in Jeffrey Epstein's island. Her attorney says, "We haven't spoken to the president or anybody about a pardon just yet. The president this morning said he had the power to do so. We hope he exercises that power in the right and just way." The right and just way would definitely be freeing a pedophile in Maxwell. Once the president says there is no list, there is no incriminating list of people that are going to get arrested or charged, now you have to free the Joker. And there is no other way out of this. He's doing the right thing. I mean, this is how you beat accusations of pedophilia and satanic worship and sacrificial rituals on a remote island with fellow billionaires and tech giants. This is how you do it. You free the pimp. You get her out on a super NDA. I don't even know if you can call it an NDA, but she will be on thin ice in watching her tongue. And Maybe they will free her after the pardon. Of course they would, but who knows how long she'll live after that. I think it was a little sloppy when they took out Jeffrey in jail, so maybe they'll free her and then take her out. I don't know. We don't know how deep this goes. I don't think we'll ever know. They're all definitely good buds. When speaking to reporters outside the White House Friday, Trump did not rule out a pardon or clemency for Maxwell. It's something I haven't thought about, Trump said. I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about. That's bullshit. I guarantee you Trump thinks about it almost every minute of every day. I know he's a busy guy, and don't get me wrong. I agree with a ton of the policy coming out of the Trump administration. But unfortunately, we must protect the children. The children always come first. And in this scenario, they are trying to sweep the dead children under the rug and have us move on. Policy's great. I'm not a big fan of the situation in the Middle East or how we're still giving money to Ukraine. We can't get a peace deal, a peace agreement signed with anything to do with Hamas. But there are things that the Trump administration does that I do agree with. Unfortunately, when it comes to having sex with minors, I don't think I could let that one slide, Donald. And the Biden administration didn't do anything about it. Trump campaigned on it, and this is why we can't let it go. If you're going to promise the people something, get a shit ton of votes from the people, you have to follow up. You can't back down on an issue like this. And we're not going to. So stay at it. Stay up the ass. Be annoying about it. If you got a friend that tries to hype Trump up, be like, yeah, but the files. The files, bro. Just put the files in the bag, bro. Now, this is interesting because to me, this is an attempt to give the American public hush money. Not that we have any incriminating evidence on Donald Trump or his fellow pedophiles in power, but this is just like a, hey, guys, shut up. Here's $2,000. I promise more will come. Just chill with the Epstein stuff, okay? Give me a fucking break. Okay, I fucked a handful of kids back in the 90s. I'm sorry. Okay? Just take the money and go spend it at the mall. Go spend it on Amazon. Just shut up. Let me run the country. And let me run again in 2028. Trump suggests giving out rebates from billions in tariff revenue. President Trump suggested Friday that some Americans may receive rebates from the federal government after the U.S. Treasury took in $64 billion in tariff revenue for the first 3 months since his Liberation Day announcement April 2nd. Any disbursement from the federal government would require congressional approval. The House is currently out of session until September 2nd, and the Senate is set to follow suit at the end of next week. Again, this is purely hush money. I mean, they talked about rebates from the Doge cuts and all the money the government was saving by canceling out and getting rid of these programs that the government was essentially wasting money on, which I agree with most of these cuts. But unfortunately, we never saw a dollar, and the talks of any stimulus or rebate checks going out pretty much quietly went away and quickly went away. But now Trump goes, you know what? If we give them money, they'll shut up. This is 100% hush money for the American public. I'll take it. We'll all take it, as you should take it. And I think I saw an amount, I believe it was like around $1,400. You could do a little better than that, Donnie, if you want to get us to move on from a pedophilia allegation, okay? You might have to up it to $5,000, $10,000. I mean, $1 trillion deficit's not going to get damaged by 5, 10 rack A's straight to the American public, okay? Just dish out that money. Maybe we will move on. I don't know. Would you move on from this for $10,000? I don't know. I know I wouldn't. I would take the money, but I wouldn't shut up about it. And I hope the press doesn't shut up about it. I hope everyone on the internet keeps hounding every post about it. Release the files. This is what got you into office, essentially. Draining the swamp. We're still waiting on that too. FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino shocked to his core over FBI's recent corruption discoveries. Quote, "I'll never be the same." What did you find out, Danny? You finally met the reptilians that run the government? Did you have to have a sit down with them? Bongino boldly declared Saturday that he made recent discoveries about government corruption and weaponization that shocked him to his core. So yeah, something happened. Bongino himself is a conspiracy theorist, so what could have shocked him to his core is got to be pretty out there. I don't know. Maybe he finally walked in on his first Diddy party, his government-sponsored Diddy party. I don't know. He didn't elaborate on it. Without elaborating on what he found out, Bongino teased that investigations into those discoveries are ongoing and being done by the book. What I have learned in the course of our properly predicated and necessary investigations into these aforementioned matters has shocked me down to my core, Bongino said in a shocking announcement on X. We cannot run a republic like this. I'll never be the same after learning what I've learned. Bongino did not provide a timeline for when the public might learn what he's talking about, and underscored that while he is not as visible as he once was during his podcast days, things are happening. Yeah, he either finally had to sit down with some real demons, or, I mean, he finally really saw who runs the American government, and it's the influence of Israel and Netanyahu. I'm sorry I keep going on about this. I really am. But it's the truth. I mean, until we can reprogram ourselves into truly putting America first and believing that the new information and trends that we are able to witness and see are in fact the truth instead of the history we've been taught, nothing's going to change. I mean, they're going to be able to do huge psyops like COVID. They're going to be able to install chips into your kids' heads. They're going to be able to get away with pedophile sex rings, and pretty soon they'll just be doing satanic rituals right in downtown DC. I mean, they won't have to cover up anything at that point if we don't wake up and realize who really runs this country, who controls the American government. They are showing you every single day that left and right, one and the same. You need to question everything that you see. Don't take anything at face value, and form your own opinion on the issues at hand here. Don't let anybody tell you how to think, because that's how you end up on an island getting fucked in the ass, and you're not going to get paid for it. We are going to conduct these righteous and proper investigations by the book and in accordance with the law, he stressed. We are going to get the answers we all deserve. As with any investigation, I cannot predict where it will land, but I can promise you an honest and dignified effort at the truth. Not my truth or your truth, but the truth. Good luck, Bongino. I mean, this tweet will either end up deleted or he'll end up dead. I believe Bondi, Bongino, and Patel are all going to be out of a job within the next year, and I kind of believe in Bongino. I really, I haven't always been a big fan of his, but right now I'm looking at him like the little engine that could. He's like a little black sheep in there right now, and I do have some faith in him to deliver some justice in these matters, but with this cryptic ass tweet. I don't even know what he's talking about. Nobody knows what the fuck he's talking about. But when politicians start, or I guess you can call Bongino a politician. No, when people in the administration start talking like this and sending out these cryptic tweets, they usually end up dead. So I'm sure Bongino's has had his fair share of meetings already today after this cryptic ass tweet. I don't have X, so I haven't really checked if it's still up. Like I said, it'll either be deleted or he will never ever circle back to what he was actually talking about and expound on any details in this matter. Trump wants to clean up the streets. He wants to clean up our major cities of homeless people. Homeless people can be removed from streets by cities and states in new Trump executive order. As part of his effort to make America safe again, President Donald Trump signed an executive order to allow cities and states to remove homeless people off the streets and into treatment centers. Trump signed the order ending vagrancy and restoring Thursday afternoon. The order states that the number of individuals living on the streets in the United States on a single night during the last year of the Biden administration, 274,224, was the highest ever recorded. So, again, I'm not here to grill Trump on every single thing that he does. I hope he fucking wins. I hope he does great for this country. I love America so much. But I believe it was back in March, him and Elon got rid of some COVID-era funding for things like substance abuse and mental health issues. And now you want to remove the homeless, which mostly deal with those two issues, substance abuse and mental health, and you want to put them into treatment centers, rehab facilities. They're going to end up in jail. That's what they're going to do. You don't have the resources to put all of these, 250,000, we don't know, over 250,000, it's probably like 500,000 plus of homeless people into rehabilitation centers or drug addiction treatment centers. That's a pipe dream, people. These homeless people are not getting relocated to the Hilton downtown. If they do end up removing these people, from the streets, they are going to be disappeared. Most of these people are not accounted for. They're probably going to end up in your quarter pounder from McDonald's. That's honestly what'll probably happen. But in reality, they're going to end up in prison. They're going to end up dead. They are not some of these homeless people don't want treatment. Before we discuss dealing with any type of homeless issue or drug addiction related issues with people being down on their luck and, they just happen to be homeless at the time, how about we talk about solving the problem for veterans of the United States military? They do account for a lot of this homeless population in the country, but why haven't steps been made to get homeless veterans in treatment centers? How about we do that first, slim down the homeless population, and then we could vet the rest of the homeless population, determine if they're criminals, if some of them even have a social security number. We get them all drug tested and see what kind of diseases they have. And then you can deal with the homeless population. The veterans come first in my eyes when talking about people who have no shelter and no steady place to live every night. It's just, it's sad what our government does with our veterans. It's fucking disgusting. It directs Attorney General Pam Bondi to reverse judicial precedents and end consent decrees, stopping or limiting cities and states from removing homeless individuals from the streets and moving them to treatment centers. Though it is unclear how much money will be allocated to the effort, Trump's order redirects federal funds to ensure that the removed homeless individuals are sent to rehabilitation, treatment, and other facilities. Homelessness increased in the United States by 18% from 2023 to 2024. According to Housing and Urban Development's annual homelessness assessment report released in January. Speaking in March, Trump said, "We're going to have a crime-free capital. When people come here, they're not going to be mugged or shot or raped. They're going to have a crime-free capital again. It's going to be cleaner and better and safer than it ever was, and it's not going to take us too long." Again, I mean, you tell me how this problem gets solved without the proper resources. I mean, they say they don't know what dollar amount they're going to put towards this effort, but with all the funding being cut from these programs, and there's no real plan forward, just we'll put some money at it and the homelessness will be gone. No. Where are the homeless people really going to go? Rehab treatment facilities are not big enough to house every homeless person in your city. There's no realistic way, unless there's a whole separate program department created within the federal government to handle the homelessness issue in America. Like I said, you handle the homeless veterans first, and then you attack the homeless people. Not attack the homeless people, but then you tackle the issue of homelessness in the United States. Figure out what drug they're on. Are they on fentanyl? Are they an alcoholic? Are they on meth? Are they on heroin? Figure that out. Do they have hepatitis B? Do they have HIV? Figure out what's wrong with them. Get them in their proper situation. Give them an opportunity. The trouble with homelessness is a lot of them choose to be homeless. They no longer want to participate in society. I get it. I feel them. I do. But life has been so hard for them, and they've most likely struggled with mental health for so long that some of them are just happier that way. They are in many ways more free than you and I. So homelessness is a pretty complex issue. There's many layers to the topic of homelessness. It's not black and white. And besides, honestly, I like a little homelessness in my downtown areas. Just, not too much. There's a balance to the homelessness. I want to be able to walk to my car without getting attacked and mugged, or I don't want to be asked for money every turn on every block. But, I think especially when visiting these old cities like Chicago and New York City, even LA, it does well for the aesthetic of the city when there's just a little bit of homelessness. Like I said, some people want to be homeless. Trust me. Let's get those guys, sit them on the street corners, give them 40 grand a year. Taxpayer money. It adds to the aesthetic of the downtown aura. It works. You know what I'm talking about. Couple brown bags. There's a dog right there with an empty bowl. It adds to the charm of the nightlife in downtown Manhattan. It really does. And you can't convince me otherwise. There's something that a homeless guy screaming his lungs out at 3 a.m. outside of your apartment that really makes you go, God bless America. So don't get rid of all the homeless people, please, Trump. Keep the good ones. Keep the manageable ones around. Keep the traditional homeless ones, All these new homeless guys who are ingesting brand new drugs off of the black market and raping women, there's a solid chunk of homeless people that could easily be placed in a firing squad. Yes. But keep the good ones. We can't We can't scrub the streets completely clean of our homeless people. Who else am I going to give my spare ones to? Okay? I enjoy when I see a homeless person and you lock eyes with them, you know if you can give them money or not. So I mean, I guess some people don't. They just pass out money to any guy with a street sign. But when you really connect with someone and you see into their soul for a second, you go, you know what? I'm going to give this guy $5. I fuck with this guy. I don't care what he's done. But here's $5. Now get the fuck out of my face. Russia sat on intel of Hillary Clinton's alleged heavy tranquilizers use, New Doc claims. Russia allegedly had intelligence suggesting that former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was taking heavy tranquilizers, which former President Barack Obama and Democratic Party leaders found to be extraordinarily alarming, a newly declassified intelligence report claims. So Hillary Clinton's just been on tranks for years. I mean, I guess when a life of crime really gets to you at this age, you got to start doing some tranquilizers. You got to be really doped up to go around your constituents and proceed with the day-to-day life of being an American politician. When you've unalived so many reporters and journalists in your life, the only way you carry on is with a heavy daily dose of tranquilizers. That's how you cope. There's wine and liquor is not going to cut it. Your nightcap blunt is not going to cut it. Your Xanax is not going to cut it. You need to inject tranquilizers into your neck in order to suppress the demons that speak to you at night when you've lived a life like Hillary Clinton's. Your husband is a known pedophile and a known murderer, and you're going to need some tranks. You need a nice cocktail of ketamine and some other elephant tranquilizers in order to really push through to the next day and make your next television appearance. I feel you, Hillary. I really do. As of September 2016, the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service had DNC information that President Obama and party leaders found the state of Secretary Clinton's health to be extraordinarily alarming, and felt it could have serious negative impact on her election prospects, the report states. Her health information was being kept in strictest secrecy, and even close advisors were not being fully informed. The Russian Foreign Intelligence Service also allegedly had DNC communications that showed that Clinton was suffering from intensified psycho-emotional problems, including uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness. Clinton was placed on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers, and while afraid of losing, she remained obsessed with a thirst for power, the report states. The Russians also allegedly had information that Clinton suffered from type 2 diabetes, ischemic heart disease, deep vein thrombosis, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Sheesh. So she's on her way out. Unless the reptilians find her a new heart, she's on the way out. I mean, that's absolutely insane. We had a psychopath. I mean, to be fair, 99% of the politicians in Congress are absolute sociopaths, psychopaths with a thirst for power. So this just shows that Hillary's got a heart, man. Hillary's got a heart, as cold and bitter as she comes off, how scary she seems. She's very warm inside. She's very warm inside. She's just misunderstood. That's it. She's misunderstood. And when she does pass away, I might write a book on her. I might have to write a book on her. Stop being so hard on Hillary Clinton, okay? She just needs love. She needs a nice big warm hug. You know her and Trump are friends, right? They don't hate each other. What happened to you'd be locked up if it was up to me? No, Trump would never lock up his best friend. That's his friend. Bill and Hillary, longtime friends of Donald Trump. They love each other. California man accused by feds of scamming $2 million from people on dating apps. A California man was federally charged for allegedly scamming more than $2 million from people over popular dating apps by posing as someone who was financially successful and knowledgeable about investments, prosecutors said. Christopher Earl Lloyd, 39 years old, of Whittier, is now facing a 14-count federal indictment in connection with the alleged scheme he carried out for nearly 3 years on dating apps such as Tinder, Hinge, and Bumble, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office of the Central District of California. According to the indictment that a federal grand jury returned on July 2nd from April 2021 to February 2024, Lloyd used dating apps and websites to befriend and engage in romantic relationships with his victims. Lloyd lied to his victims to give them the impression that he was financially successful and knowledgeable about investments, the attorney's office said. I mean, I don't feel bad for these people. First of all, if you want to find love, just delete all of your apps. Delete all of your dating apps. Don't go on Facebook dating. Don't swipe on Tinder, Bumble, Grindr if you're into that. What's the other one? Hinge. Delete all of your dating apps. You're not going to find true love on a dating app, I promise. And even if in the rare case that you do, I want this to always stick in the back of your mind. You passed up on the opportunity to one day just collide with the potential love of your life. Your two paths just intersect out in the open world, not influenced by a profile picture or a bio that caught your eye. Just natural, really traditional, old school ways of finding love. Meet her at a market. Meet her at the fair. Meet her at the library. Stalk her. Do something traditional. Don't resort to online dating. Just stay away from it. These people are desperate nowadays, and you might get scammed by someone promising that they are a finance guru. And then before you know it, you're selling him 40 grand and you think he's your future husband, when in reality, he's doing this to 15 other people. So just take your time, delete the dating apps, stumble upon the love of your life in a grocery store. Let's just put down the phones when it comes to finding love. Go out in the world, socialize. I know you don't want to. I know you're insecure or whatever. Take care of yourself. Start working out, eat a little healthier, get some sleep, then go out into the world and find your person. Fuck swiping on dating apps. I'm telling you, they're no good. Lloyd fraudulently induced his victims to provide money and property to him, including in the form of purported investments, by telling them he knew of investment opportunities that would benefit them. Lloyd also told his victims that he would invest their money, that they would receive regular returns on these investments, and that they could withdraw these investments at any time. Oh, it's just 50 grand. It's just 50 grand. It's 50 grand. I'm going to have it in an account. It's going to accrue interest. Just you could draw from it at any time. I'll give you the numbers. Just send over the money to me. I got it taken care of. If convicted, Lloyd would face a statutory maximum sentence of 20 years in federal prison for each wire fraud count, and up to 10 years in federal prison for the monetary transaction count. Free him. What's his name? Christopher Earl Lloyd. Free him. Drop these charges, Trump. Pardon this guy. Fuck Jelaine. Just pardon him, dude. He's scamming desperate people on dating apps. They were dumb. Who the fuck is dumb enough? Honestly, I want to see this guy's dating profile. How do you pull this off, getting money from strangers with no product and no proven service? I mean, Some people struggle hard enough to get a coffee date on Tinder. This guy's out here getting people to fork over their life savings. Kudos, Christopher Lloyd. Amazing work, honestly. Again, delete the dating apps, okay? Just get rid of them. I know it's tempting. I know you may just want to hook up because you're heartbroken, but just go find whatever you need out there in the world. There's still plenty of people out there. I know we're all too broke to go out and enjoy our lives, but there are some people out there. So stay strong. Get off a Hinge. Stop masturbating so much and find the love of your life. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'll see you next week. Have a good one.